Yes. What kind of advice would you give someone who's thinking about going into self-publishing?
Um, um, don't do it for the money, and make the book you want to make, because the world is a wonderful place, and the technology is out there to just make the book you want. You can draw whatever you want on a piece of paper. You can pay money to have someone print it for you, and you have a comic book. And not a lot of people say that.
No matter what kind of comic you want to make, and I always emphasize this, there's never been a better time to publish comics. There's never been an easier time to publish comics. You know, you don't need a single dime if you can just publish it online. Draw on screen, put it up on Tumblr, boom, you're done. I mean, all the kind of print-on-demand places are very easily accessible for print-on-demand comics. You can go to Kinko's and make mini comics like so many people like Jim Mahfood and people that started doing, you know, over the years. So I agree with Tron. It's telling your story. Back in the day, used to be a lot of people like, oh, I'm only going to get out comics if I start publishing, if I work in this genre. Or no one's going to like my story if I don't tell it, you know, with a certain bent or a certain storyline. But now, just tell stories about anything. The audience is there. You have the internet at the tip of your fingers. You can find someone like-minded soul who's going to read your comics. And then the classic commercial, they tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and they tell two friends. So the world of publishing right now is open to anything. Don't limit yourself.
Absolutely. Also get a Twitter account, as you were saying. It's also very important.
Yeah, I started out with mini comics and stuff back 10, 12 years ago when I first started getting into comics and stuff. It was fun. I used to make copies, and then I would staple them myself, and I didn't have a stapler that would go through all of them, and I had to run the staples through, flip it over, and hammer them with a hammer at home. Yeah, it was kind of fun doing something tactile with your hands, but yeah, if you want to make comics happen, you can do it. It doesn't really, you know, no matter what your budget is, you can usually find a way to make it happen, and you can find somebody to read it. It's kind of amazing.
Absolutely. When I first started out, I was lucky enough with my writing partner on my first book, Secret Vengeance Houdini. Through sheer luck and meeting the right people at the right time, we were able to get a meeting with Axel Alonso at Marvel in his office. And the first thing he said was, "Thank you for sending me this comic, because I don't get to read comics anymore." And that blew my mind. It's like you work at Marvel Comics, but no, you see scripts and you see pages of art, but you don't get to sit down and read a comic book anymore. And then he asked us what we want to do, and he said, we want to make comics. And he goes, "No, you've done that. What do you want to do now?" And yeah, I ask myself that every day now.
I have an Axel and coffee story. Does anyone want to hear it?
Oh, I think we do.
Yeah, and Twitter. It involves Twitter.
And Twitter.
Yeah, I had met Axel very, very briefly at C2E2, but he meets 100 million people, right? Axel Alonso is the editor-in-chief at Marvel, so obviously somebody I would like to get to know. Anyway, so on Twitter, like I had made an announcement because this was a couple of years ago when I was just breaking in. I really needed the coffee, but I was also feeling kind of like, am I a coffee addict? And so I like kind of tweeted out that, you know, maybe I'll try a week without coffee. And this became a huge thing because then Axel starts tweeting, it's really hard, you know?
Yeah,
it's really hard.
Yeah.
And he started giving me advice. It's like really tactile advice. Like, you know, load up on coconut water and like really like specific advice because it was like, it was hard, but it was just really funny because he became really concerned about this. And then it became a fundraiser because I was like, okay, let's see if I can actually do this and let's raise some money for Hero Initiative, and I did it.
So Amy choose a hero, ladies and gentlemen. Amy too.
And on the 8th day, I went back to coffee.
Ooh, good question.